Kenya's hotel and tourism industry is on a recovery path, with both the government and industry players forecasting a relatively strong performance in 2023. Tourism is one of the East African nation's top sources of hard currency, and its revenue went up by over 80% last year as COVID restrictions came off. The CGTN's Richard Nta met up with Kenya's Principal Secretary for Tourism, and they discussed the government's plans for the sector. Here's part of that interview.
There was also some of the tax waivers, especially for the hotel industries and other hospitality industry, that the government was able to employ. But apart from that, there was also a program which was, we would say, economic stimulus program for to be able to reform the sector. And the tourism sector was actually given at least 2.2 billion Kenya shillings. This was actually meant to assist the hotels and the tourism sector not to close as they waited for, the pandemic to, the effects of the pandemic and the restrictions to be lifted up.
Right.
So those are some of the, apart from that, there was also a new phenomena which developed as a result of that, which we call domestic tourism.
What is your short-term projection for the end of this year and perhaps the middle of next year?
We really don't want to be very much of ambitious, but we want to project, let's say 2023, we are projecting to go to about 2.35 million and by the end of 2023. And by 2024, we should be able to go to almost 3 million. We are projecting that by 2027, we should be between 3 to 4 million. So we are trying to do some realistic analysis. And this analysis we do through the Tourism Research Institute. In the tourism sector, we have a number of government agencies that are there to support. And each of them have a specific role to play. The Kenya Tourism Board particularly does the marketing role.
Now, speaking of numbers and arrivals, talk to us about the diversification of international tourists from the non-traditional sources, perhaps China and other countries. What are your plans for that?
We have the traditional markets, which are Britain, the United States of America, and others, which have been really supporting the tourism sector. And number one, we will still be able to ensure that the traditional the sources are still enhanced and encouraged. But as you have asked, we want to diversify the source markets. And the source markets that we are looking at, first of all, we are looking at the African market, which we want to tap. We are looking at all the countries like Nigeria and many other countries in Africa. We have our neighbors here, Uganda, Tanzania, the East African community. Then we have the larger African continent, which we are trying to target because there are many things that they share with Kenya.